Good evening and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today's Visit the Pacific Scrum. We're here with FrosT and Crws from TALON. Before we jump into the Q&A session, we'll start by hearing some thoughts from the player and the coach about today's match. Crws, let's start with you.
I think they played really well on bind, and we were really scared. We were hesitating a lot, and that probably killed us. But props to the boys. Their head is still in the game. We climbed back, and that is probably the best thing that had happened today, because normally when we shut down, and I'm really happy, and I have a lot of hope for this roster moving forward, because we're really resilient, and we showed a really good performance after a bad one in the beginning, which normally doesn't happen.
Yeah, pretty typical. I agree with everything Crws said. I think the only thing I'll add is that I was very surprised by the map veto going the way that it went. I thought that coaching staff took a lot of risks, and I was pleasantly surprised with what we got. So I thought that contributed to our success also. I was obviously extremely angry about bind, but the level of resiliency that the three rookies continue to show continues to astound me. However, I will remind everybody that we are still one game away from champs, and if we continue to make some of the mistakes that we make, it is going to be very hard to qualify, because the teams that we will be playing in Japan are absolute monsters. So, cautiously optimistic about this playoff run.
All right, thank you for sharing your thoughts. We'll now take questions from on-site. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and we'll bring the mic.
Hello guys, so Lara, congrats with the win. My first question will be to FrosT. I think the guys really stepped up, the younger boys on the team, and I kind of was feeling how much they wanted, and that they were so I could feel their energy for some reason, that they really wanted to win, and that showed their character. So I was actually curious, how are you working with the guys' consistency? Because today I think that what Crws was basically talking about, that you did that mental comeback as well. So yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, I've been in a very weird position since we went full tie. The only thing I will give up is that keeping things as simple as possible is the best way currently to deal with the players that we have, especially since their skill cap is so high. You don't want to give them that much information, because they can just shoot so well that you kind of want to free them up. I am personally trying to just emphasize very specific things that have not gone my way, by the way. Jovi's also consistently doing the same thing, obviously mostly different stuff, but we are trying our best to mitigate the thought that goes into the game. However, we are increasing that with Crws, because I have been throwing a lot. I mean, there's 2 games this year where I completely threw our game plan out right before the game starts because of other things that happened. That is incredibly difficult for an IGL to deal with, and he's managed it very well. And I still thought, even with the abrupt changes, I'm pretty sure we won macro. One of them was to DRX the first time in Season 1 playoffs. And I still thought he did a great job with that. It has been a challenge. It is going to continue to be a challenge. But as they get better and smarter, you'll see similar things that you saw with PRX. Once they got more experience and then got smarter, they became the best team in the world. I think eventually this will happen. We have just been fighting to have that happen now in their rookie season, which is also incredibly unfair to them. But life sometimes is just unlucky.
Okay, thanks for sharing. As a follow-up, I just wanted to hear your thoughts about like having very young players. Like, what are like the main like advantages and challenges working with like very young boys? Because on the one hand, I could feel that they have so much energy, they can play FrosT tomorrow. I felt like that they're just like warmed up, you know. But on the other hand, I'm pretty sure there are challenges too.
I will be completely honest and say I hate having young players now that I'm older. It was much different back in Flipside or, you know, back in my earlier esports career, it was so different. But now, the only thing that matters to me that I'm getting older is the realization that I may not have a lot of time continuing to do this. So World Championships are the only thing I care about. It's just adding more World Championships to my resume for nothing other than the vanity of just saying I have done it in multiple games. There really is no reason why I should feel that way. And I think this has made it so increasingly frustrating for me when things obviously don't go your way, or like, you know, if you're trying to teach something and they just don't get it. So I will say that it has been a bigger, I believe this season for me has been a bigger challenge than the last one. Not that the players aren't better. It's more just my mentality. I had to take such a step back, and like I also have to manage my own emotions and my own like anger, frustration, or like I have to have a lot more empathy because they're young and I know they're young. But the ego in you doesn't like to lose. So it's like a really weird place to be. I think though that them having Crws, I said this when we got Primi, I think you remember, that the best thing for Primi, whether he realizes it or not, is you, because you were him many years before he became what he became. You remember when you went to go get him? Like I was telling you, like he doesn't realize that like the perfect situation for him isn't going to the international team and signing with somebody else. It's having Crws, and I think that the benefit they have is honestly having Crws, not really having me. It's just nice that they have a lot of experience and a guy that has a lot of championship experience that they can always just like, you know, get information from, even if it's through a filter like Crws.
Thank you. If I could ask one more question. I would love to ask a question to Crws. You get a lot of praise for your IG lighting lately. So I would love to know how do you learn? Like how do you improve like your like calling like skills? And is there anything that like motivates you or inspires you to be a better IGO now?
I think it's a lot of the experience we got. I think the way the tournament or the like the group stage is set up is just hard for me to gain much experience, because if we don't make it into playoffs, we're out right away. But then after like a bunch of games, a bunch of experience with those kind of teams, I tend to understand them more. But like, you know, when you reach your hand into a box that is covered, you're obviously scared. You don't know what's up. But then if you know there's nothing inside the box, you won't be. That's what happened to me, and I think I just learned from my mistakes. And it's just easier for me to communicate now, because I only need to speak Thai a few words and they understand. Everything is communicated really well, and I tend to tell them beforehand that there's a chance I might do this and that because this might happen, or I just tell them to just trust me and turn off your brain. Just trust me, just go here. And like they don't even understand why, but I know that this is gonna happen, so just trust me and go. And just from that kind of experience, from playing them many times, I think if other players or other teams get the same amount of chances, they would probably improve as well as I did as well. So I think it's just the amount of games I've been through. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. That is very interesting, and good luck in the Upper Bracket Finals.
All right, thank you so much. And we have one pre-submitted questions to go through. As for Crws, the teamwork tonight was fantastic. Was there a particular play or round where everything just came together perfectly?
I think there's many rounds. Many rounds. One on Haven, one Hector showed me a specific round of a specific team that played against DRX, and then he said this would work against them. But then, at that moment in the game, I looked at the map and everyone was in position to play, so I called it. But none of them know, because I'm the only one who watches the VODs and stuff. So none of them know what I'm talking about, but I just told them, we're going to do this right now, and then we got the round right away. And a lot of rounds on Lotus as well, where just wait here, they're going to come here, and let's just fight together. And everyone was on the same page. We know that they will come, and we're just ready for it. So I think that's more of what I'm happy about.
Just say you're the best IGL, bro. It's okay. It's okay, bro.
All right, thank you for sharing
That's
your
okay
thoughts.
too.
All right, that'll be all for tonight's Scrum with TALON. Thank you so much again for joining us, and we'll come back with the next game. Thank you.